Hi there, thanks for checking out this video. This is going to be hopefully a how-to video on how to repair, test and repair this unit. This is a Zareba A100Li. It's a 100-mile Zareba basically. They've had different model names and numbers on them over the years. But anyways, they're all basically the same on the inside, whether it's a Zareba, Blitzer, Red Snapper, 5-shock, 100-mile job. American Farmworks is another name. That's the American Farmworks, I think, is the name that Tractor Supply has them put on there. But they're all the same. No matter what you get, they're all the same. So let's tear in this thing. We'll see what's going on with it. As we're going through this, if you don't mind just going over there, if you don't want to subscribe to the channel, if you want to at least hit the thumbs up button, we'd appreciate that. It takes a second just to click the little thumbs up deal. But if you want to subscribe, appreciate it. All right, so this has got 8 screws in it. All 8 of them are the same. They are T15 Torx, tamper-proof type. So you just buzz them out of there. Sometimes what will happen, especially in these 2 up here, or the 4 screws on the bottom, they're kind of a nice dark little hole there, and bugs like to get in there and make their home. So sometimes you'll have a hard time getting them out because there'll be a bunch of, a moth or a fly or whatever, something fly get in there, something, and make their home, and then lay their larvae in there, and then you've got a big gunk of crap in there, and dirt and grime, and the screw holes all caked up, and it's hard to get them out of there. But then you have to dig it out, spray a little, I don't know, WD-40 in there, just so something cleaner, something in there, just so that way it'll loosen that stuff up there on the gunk that gets built up on top of the Torx head of the screw, and it's gouged out with a little screwdriver or something like that. But next thing to do to get this apart, you got an overlapping case. This case overlaps this case in the middle like this. So take a go down here at the bottom, and these little holes right here, I just want to pull this side off first, I believe. So just get a little screwdriver in there and kind of just work it up. I didn't plug this one in yet, so I don't know what I should have, but we'll find out here in a minute. And then go over here to the same thing to this one. So pull this side up and off, and there is a capacitor on the back side right here, that big white thing, white and gray. Oh yeah, look out for your screws. And then pull this cover off, and set the left cover, just set it off to the side. Alright, well, this transformer, the bulb's missing. The bulb's broken off there. So what usually goes wrong is either this, or some problem with this. But what we'll do is we'll check out the transformer first. I plug it in, but if it doesn't come on at all, it could be multiple things. But let's check the transformer first. So put your meter on ohms. Ohms is that little horseshoe symbol there. If this is an auto range type of meter, then it to be a fancy one like this one. But if you got an ohms, set it to the lowest setting. Set it to your lowest ohm setting. And what you're going to do is you're going to test across these 2 wires that go to the transformer, and you should get like 0 point something ohms. So we're getting, move this thing over a little bit, we're getting 0.1. So it should be very, very, very low on like 0 point something. So so far the input side of the transformer is fine. Output side of the transformer should be about 10 ohms, and we're not getting jack diddly squat over here. So the transformer should be about 10 ohms across the output of the transformer, and I'm not getting anything. So the transformer probably are a culprit at the moment. But next, what we're going to do, we're going to unplug the 2 black wires that go to the transformer. Just with these little slide-on spade deals. And I would pull this board off first. Just wiggle and lift up. And you got two white resistors and a black one there in the middle. And in between them, you have these little thermal things right here. And these boards sell from Zareba for about 20 bucks. But you can sometimes you can fix these things for, God, less than half that. So those thermal fuse things on there act like a fuse, but they absorb the heat. They pick up the heat from these resistors, and if it gets to a certain level, those thermal things will blow. And you just ohm them out like you would a fuse. So like for continuity. So it should be 0. 0. Okay, those are fine. And then we'll check these resistors don't go bad that often, but we'll check them anyways while you're doing it. It's 7.5. Should be 68. 7.5. Okay. The other thing that goes bad is sometimes this board over here will have problems. This is your trigger board. These things are kind of like, these things are about $60 or something like that for one of these boards. So it's almost more expensive than this big long board, because those big black things there, or these SCRs are high price, high dollar deals. So they charge a pretty penny for them. So, oops, I'm not going to pull the board off yet. Shouldn't have to. We'll pull these wires off. They go from the capacitor. And then we're going to do a diode check. Check out these SCRs. We don't have a good spot to lay this board right at the minute, so I'm just going to sit like that. Okay, to check an SCR, put your meter on the diode setting, which is not ohms, but for your diode, it's that little symbol right there, a white one above my finger. What you're going to do is you're going to test each of these twice, 2 different ways. You put your red, if you're looking at the front of them, there's some writing on there. Put your red lead on the center pin, and then put your black lead on each outside leg. And what it should give you is it should beep and give you a 0.500 something, 0.700 something. If it doesn't beep like this, then it's bad. See, 0.600 something, and you reach across and touch the other one. Okay, and go over here. Put your red lead on the center. See, that one reads open. Okay, nope, my eyes had a bad connection. Okay, 0.600 something, 0.500 something. One usually goes bad first. If one does go bad, it's usually this lowest one down here, and it says SCR2 on it. So I might have to bend these over to get them out of the way a little bit, give yourself some room to what you're looking at. Put your red lead on the center, black lead on the far right one, or far lead. Now I know I'm getting a good connection there, and I'm not getting anything. So, like I said, that's usually the one that goes bad first. Okay. So we need to replace the transformer and that SCR on there. And you can replace this board, but it's like I said, it's like $60. So I would prefer just to repair the board. But you got to be able to desolder and solder to replace that part, which not a hard thing to do if you don't have the tools to do it. And you'll have to find somebody that can, or send it into us and let us troubleshoot and fix things for you. And we do stock these parts in-house, so if you need a part for this unit, we do stock them here. And we give you a 1.5-year warranty on all the parts you get from us. The only thing I won't put a 1.5 year on is these little things here. I might give like 6 months, something like that, but these other things causing things to go bad, like a transformer. So I won't cover these under the 1.5 year, but the transformer and all the other parts I'll give you a 1.5 year warranty on, but these ones I won't. Unless we do the repair ourselves here, then I'll give you a 1.5 year warranty on it. But if you do the repair there, I'll give you a 1.5 year warranty on all the whole parts, but little components I'll give you like, I don't know, 3 months, 6 months, something like that. Alright, so let's get desoldering here. I need my desoldering braid. Some guy asked me on the phone. He's like, yeah, I saw your video, you're soldering this or that, and what was that stuff you were using to desolder or suck the solder off there? Because he never heard of it. Usually most people have used these solder suckers, whether it's electric or like this little mechanical one. It's got a spring in there, so you heat it up, the solder, with a solder iron, put this next to it, and then just push the little button that sucks the solder off. It takes it sometimes 2, 3, 4 tries to get enough solder off there. This stuff here, and we're not sponsored by anybody, this is stuff that we buy or sell, but I'll tell you, this is probably the best desoldering braid that's out there, because it's made by Chemwick or Chemtronics, but it's got rosin in it, which is like kind of a flux type stuff, and it helps the heat and the transfer of heat to the solder joint. And this thing, this sucks the solder right off. I like using this stuff versus the solder pump or desoldering pump, just because I don't know, it gets it off in one shot typically. So if you're using stuff like this, or if you don't have if you buy a part from us and you need to desolder, you can buy these desoldering pumps on Amazon for like $5 or $6, $7, something like that. They're not very expensive. They come in different widths and different lengths, but this is a 100-foot roll or 50-foot roll of this stuff. You get on Amazon this particular size. You can get on Amazon for about $20. And with us soldering, this will last me anywhere from 6 months to a year. So $20 is a pretty cheap investment for me to buy. But to use it, lay this desoldering braid on the solder joint first, and I usually put the soldering tip kind of like not right on it like this, put it kind of flat and lay it across. That way you get more surface area of your iron across it, and it just pulls it right out there. Sometimes you have to go on the front and the back side to get all of it, but it's pressed real hard and up against it, and see, it pulls the solder right off. And then you just move down a little bit to get to another cleaner spot, and you do the same thing over again. The last one there. Alright, then we'll take a pair of pliers, grab that little deal, and pull it out. So now, I had another one, here it is, and the center pin is kind of offset a little bit it's not straight across on there, so you have to I just bend that middle lead out a little bit, and these only go on one way, so make sure you put it on correctly. Shove it in there, and then just solder it back on with just basic soldering skills. It doesn't, not super hard soldering. You just want to do it right. Make sure the solder's covering up all sides of your solder joint. Don't leave a little, open area. That looks good. Now I'll plug this back on here. Like I said, we do sell these components. We do stock them, and we also sell a whole boards, but I don't stock a lot of these because they're too expensive to buy when you can fix them for a fraction of the price. But we do stock thermal fuses for here. They look a little different than those, or a little bit better quality than what Zareba uses, but they're the same rating and everything. It's like them better. All right, now I need to go get the other case, and we need to replace that transformer. All right, here's the other case deal. Now, this is an earlier style. The newer ones are held in. Besides these transformers, they got the bolts running through the case. You want to pull this off. you need to use it. It's like a retaining ring. It helps you hold these bolts in place and hold them in after you put the unit back together, especially on these older ones. There's the bulb missing. But these ones aren't, the newer ones are held with a nut and a washer and everything. These ones are just got the wing nuts holding them in only. And that's what this retaining, that black retaining plastic thing's for. You go to put it back together and put that on there, you have to have those on there, or when you loosen this nut up off, this wing nut up off here, if you don't have the black retaining thing in there, these bolts will just shove right on through and be rolling around on the inside of the case and all that stuff, to make sure you reuse that on there. So we'll take this wing off the way, all the way off there. So, but whether you've got a 100-mile that was made yesterday, or 100 miles made 15 years ago, 20 years ago, they're all the same. So there's the old transformer. So I'm going to go get a new one and reinstall it. Alright, here's the new transformer. Looks just like, except they put this goopy gunk epoxy stuff across some of these wires, because I think they burn up, get hot, and break. So that's, I guess, their way of hoping that it stays put better. On the old transformer board, had these little metal things that were going across these two holes there, and you want to pull those off, slide them back on there. So what helps make contact for the bolts when you shove them back through. So now we will put this board in there, take the two bolts, shove them through, and they've got kind of make sure that transfer stays in place. They've got this little square area right up here. These little brass things are also square on the holes, so you got to put in there and make sure the square deal lines up. It goes all the way through. You might have to twist it and push on it, make sure it goes all the way in flush. That square deal, it's shaped like a square, so it only fits one way. Alright, and then we'll take that black retaining ring, or not ring, but whatever, this black retaining piece, put that on top. And then we're going to put the wing nuts back on. This one was missing a wing nut, so I'm going to go grab another wing nut to put on there. This one didn't have the nut and washer like the later ones did. I don't know what size wing nut these are, but I bought them at the hardware store. I bought a box of them for like $6. Maybe $10. And it was a box of like 50. All right, so now we're going to take circuit board. How would I put it at? Lay it back down inside. I'm going to plug on the two black wires that go to the transformer from the board area back on. And then you got to plug the capacitor back on. You know, those wires there, so those got to go back on. There's no polarity to the capacitor wires, so they don't matter which tab they go on, as long as you plug them on the two tabs that they're supposed to go to. All right, so I'm going to plug it in and see if it starts clicking. There we go. So you see a little light down there flashing. It's flashing every single person in person, but the video doesn't show it flashing. Maybe because of glare or something. There, you can kind of see it flashing there every time. What it is, I won't show it every time I'm doing this. Anyways, this is a how-to video on how to repair a Zareba A100Li 100-mile 6-joule Zareba. But now all you do is you got to put this case in first. Has a little dividing piece that goes into little troughs here. There's a groove here and down over here, so you get the dividing piece in there. And then want the capacitor, put it on next. And it's got the little plastic divider thing here, and that goes inside those two little troughs. And that's basically done. Besides putting the screws in it, this one is all fixed up. So hopefully, you like the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. But our website is fencerfixer.com. It's fencer and fixer is F as in Frank on both words, and free quotes on all brands ever made, whether it's 75 years old or is made yesterday. We'll work on anything. If I can't fix it for some reason, there's no charge for us looking at it. Unless you want it shipped back for some reason, then it's just a freight charge only. No labor fees, no service fees, nothing like that. But hopefully you like the video and it helps you out. If you need parts, get a hold of us. Shoot us an email, call us. You can text us at the number. All that information is on our website. I think we were good to go. So, but there you go. That's how you fix one of these Zareba jobs. It's flashing, you can't see it in the video. But alright, until we do another video, we will see you guys later.